Hello, sixth graders. It's me, Mrs. James, here to read another chapter of Wishtree to you. I've got my tea clocking potion here. I have the most delicious piece of toast you've ever had in your life. It's butter and honey. Hold on. Okay, we're back. I had to enjoy that bite. It was just too good. So, your first question on your quiz today is going to be based off of what I'm about to tell you. So turn your listening ears on. I'll take a drink of my tea clocking potion while you get your ears turned on. Okay. I want you to see if you can figure out the theme of these situations that I'm sharing with you. So I got dressed this morning. I came all the way downstairs and I realized I left my wedding ring upstairs. And I could not go back upstairs and get it. So you know what I did? I looked on my right hand and I saw, oh, I've got my other ring on. This is a special ring. It reminds me of my grandmother, one of my grandmothers, my husband's grandmother. And I was like, I'll just take this ring off because my finger feels weird without my wedding ring on. I was like, you know what? I'll just take this ring off and I'll just put this one on. I'll wear my wedding ring tomorrow. Well, then I got ready to sit down here. I was making myself some yummy toast and my tea clocking potion. And I realized that I was getting ready to read to you guys, and I don't have my Wishtree book. I left my Wishtree book at school. But instead of being frustrated, I said, you know what? I've got an iPad and I'm going to download chapter 10 and we're going to read it and we're going to make the best of it. So on your first question on your quiz today, it's going to ask you, what is the theme of those two stories or two situations that I shared with you? There you go. All right, let's get started on chapter 10. And because I'm on my iPad, I don't know why this iPad looks like, it looks like how my grandma used to have hers, like nursing home vibes. Why is it so big? I don't know, but this, I think I downloaded the big version. Anyway, I'm gonna start reading chapter 10. I don't have the page numbers, so you're gonna have to just follow along. Find chapter 10 and let's get started. Chapter 10, disco party, disco party, disco party, disco party, disco party. When you stand still for over 2 centuries, while the world whirls past, things happen. Mostly by far and away, good things have been my lot in life. My leaves have cooled picnickers and proposers. Beneath my boughs, vows have been made, hearts mended. Nappers have napped, yappers have yapped. Just kidding, it doesn't say that. Nappers have napped, dreamers have dreamed. I've watched ascents attempted, listened to stories spun, and the laughter, always and forever, laughter. But sometimes things happen that aren't so good. When they occur, I've learned that there's not much you can do except stand tall and reach deep. I have, for example, been hacked at, carved into, used for target practice. I have been underwatered, over-pruned, fertilized and fussed over, ignored and neglected. I have been struck by lightning, battered by sleet. I have been threatened with axes, chainsaws, diseases, and insects. I have tolerated the sharp claws of squirrels. We saw our squirrel yesterday. I've tolerated the sharp claws of squirrels and the nagging pokes of woodpeckers. I have been climbed by cats and marked by dogs. Oh, excuse me. I have my aches and pains like everyone. Last year, I had a mite infestation that drove me nuts. Leaf blister, sooty moat, mold, oak wilt. Leaf scorch, been there, done that. Still, trees are luckier than people in one way. 1% of a fully grown tree is actually alive at any one time. Right. This is interesting. I didn't know all this. Sorry. So good. Yum. Most of me is made of wood cells that are no longer living. In many ways, that makes me tougher than you. So yes, I've seen a lot, and who knows? I may see much more. I could live to be 300, 500 even. It happens. Red oaks lead long lives, longer than our daintier friends, black willows, persimmons, apples, and redbuds. And yet, a few days of Samar's tearful wish, something happened that made me wonder if I'd finally witnessed too much. What did it say again? A few days after, and yet a few days after Samar's tearful wish, something that happened that made me wonder if I'd finally witnessed too much. Wow, that's beautifully said. Let's keep going. Chapter 11. Don't know what page, but here's what I do know. Disco party, disco party, disco party. Disco party, disco party. See, I can pretend. The morning was budding and I was waiting for warmth. Down the street, a lanky boy was lingering near a stop sign. Head down, he was hunched over like a wind-blown weed. In his right hand was something shiny, a tool maybe, or a pin. He was smiling just a bit as if he'd told himself a joke only he perhaps understood. All day long I see people lost in thought, talking to themselves, grinning, frowning. He was nothing out of the ordinary. I was in the midst of a conversation with Bongo, who had just pointed out to me that I was a year older. 216 rings old, to be precise. Another sprout day, I said. I still feel like a sapling. A sapling's a baby tree. I still feel like a sapling. You don't look a day over 150, Bongo replied. Best looking tree on the block. I paused for comic effect, getting up there. Bongo, who was perched on my lowest branch, sighed. A crow's sigh is unmistakable, like a groan from a tiny, cranky old man. Tree humor, I explained, just in case Bongo had missed it, although, of course, she hadn't. Bongo misses nothing. Because, I'm so tall. Really, Red? Bongo stretched, admiring her lustrous blue-black wings. That's the best you got for me this morning? Maybe you'd appreciate my joke more if you weren't so sensitive about your stature, I teased. Corvids don't give a flying tail feather about height, Bongo said. Smarts, wiles, trickery, cunning, that's what counts in our neck of the woods. Corvids is a fancy name for birds like crows, ravens, jays, and magpies. Bongo says she's too classy for a label as common as crow. So Bongo doesn't want to be called a crow. She wants to be called a corvid. That would be like me saying, I'm not a teacher, I'm an educator. Hold on. Okay, my toast is gone. A soft wind tickled my branches. Spring, that old rascal, was teasing us with the promise of warmer days. The truth is, I said, it doesn't matter what size you are, Bongo. We grow as we must grow, as our seeds decided long ago. Read way too early in the morning for the wise old tree routine. Bongo gave me a gentle peck. Although you're right, it doesn't matter how tall you are. In a fluttery blur, she sailed to a telephone pole far above my leafy canopy. Not when you can fly, pal. At almost the same moment, Samar and the boy who lived in the greenhouse, Stephen, stepped onto their porches. Both had backpacks. Both looked eager to greet the day. Where do you think they're going? I didn't hear you. Where did you think that they're going? School. Yes, you're correct. Their eyes met. Stephen nodded, just a flicker, and Samar nodded back. Not a hello exactly, just an acknowledgement. Stephen ran off toward the elementary school down the street, but Samar hesitated. Hello, she called softly. Right on cue, Bongo replied, hello, as she did every morning, sounding just like Samar. Bongo can also do a passable tuba, an impressive chihuahua, and a fine police siren. Samar looked up at Bongo, grinned, and headed toward school. Excuse me. With that, Bongo let loose a hoarse and gleeful call and set off to wait for children to arrive at school. She was a regular there. Everybody knew her. She enjoyed annoying the children, and they enjoyed letting her annoy them. Bongo especially liked to untie shoelaces. While the children were busy retying them, she would snatch treats from their lunchboxes. That Bongo is something else. Every now and then, she would even make a polite request. She could say, chip, please. No way. And you rock. When it served her purposes. Watching Bongo soar, I considered not for the first time my rambling roots. What would it be like to fly, to burrow, to swim, to gallop? Delightful, no doubt. Sheer joy, and yet I wouldn't trade a single rootlet for any of it. It's a great gift indeed to love who you are. What a beautiful quote. It's a great gift indeed to love who you are. Remember that, 6th graders. We're going to read chapter 12, and then I think we're going to be done. By this time, the lanky boy had walked past me. Oh, rewind, rewind, rewind. Disco party, disco party, disco party, disco party, disco party. Chapter 12. By this time, the lanky boy had walked past me, swiveled, and returned. Glancing over his shoulder, he stepped onto the brown lawn that blanketed my roots. The air changed, quivering the way it will when people are near with chemicals and with pulsing heat and humanness. And then it happened. He dug into my trunk with the object in his hand. Fast, deliberate. Again, he checked surroundings. An elderly woman crossing the street smiled at him and shook her head. She was probably thinking, how sweet, I bet he's carving a heart with initials in it. Oh, to be young and in love. People are under the impression that trees don't mind being carved into, especially if hearts are involved. For the record, we mind. I'd never seen the boy before. He was big, maybe a high schooler. It's hard to know with people. With a tree, I can sense to the month. sometimes to the day, its age. I couldn't tell what he was carving, of course, but I could tell from the determined way he moved that it was meant to hurt. Not me. Somehow I sensed it wasn't meant to hurt me. I was just his canvas. So he's not carving like la la la, beautiful, dun, dun, dun. That's what the lady across the street thought. But he's carving like maybe angry, I think. Let's keep reading to see. And the Wishtree says, not me, somehow I sensed it wasn't meant to hurt me. I was just his canvas. That said, it's not exactly a picnic getting hacked into. Bark is my skin, my protection from the world. Any wound makes it harder to fight off disease and insects. I wanted to yell, stop, to say something, anything, but of course I didn't. It's not our way. Trees are meant to listen, to observe, to endure. He was done quickly. He stood back, admired his work, gave a little nod, and left. As he walked away, I saw the tool clutched in his fist, a little screwdriver with a yellow handle, thin as a twig, bright as a meadowlark. Chapter 13. I have to keep going. I know I promised this would be it, but I can't help myself. Bongo. Oh, disco party. Disco party. Disco party. Disco party. Disco party. Because we just have to keep going. This is the last one, I swear. Bongo was the first to see what happened to me. She landed at the base of my trunk, head cocked. Dropping the potato chip in her beak, she cried, I leave you alone for a few minutes and look what happens. What on earth? It seems someone mistook me for a pumpkin, I said. When she didn't smile, I added, because you know I was carved. For the millionth time, Red, explaining doesn't make things any funnier. Bongo flew to my lowest scaffold branch, one of my big primary limbs. She examined my injury. Does it hurt? Not the way an injury might hurt you. Trees are different that way. I gotta do something, Bongo said. There's nothing to be done. You've got a major boo-boo. I want to help. You're the wise old tree. Tell me what to do. Really, Bongo, time heals all wounds. Bongo hates it when I philosophize. She rolled her eyes. At least I think she did. It's hard to tell with crows. Their eyes are like morning blackberries, dark and dewy. I just hope my bark isn't ruined, I said. That's my favorite side. It's not ruined, just decorated, like those tattoos people get. Bongo nudged me with her beak. Show me who did this. I'll get him. I'll squawk at his window in the middle of the night. I'll dive bomb him and yank out some hair. She flapped her wings. No, better yet, I'll make a deposit on his head. I'll make a deposit on his head every day for a year. I didn't ask what kind of deposit it was. I was quite sure I knew. Bongo, dear, she said. That won't be necessary. Bongo shifted from foot to foot, something she did when she was working out a problem. You know, she said, it's almost time for wishing day. Maybe this is some kind of wish, just a poorly delivered one. Another wishing day, I repeated. It seemed like we just had one. Had a whole year already come and gone? Days have a way of slipping past like raindrops on a river. One more round, Bongo said, of greedy people bugging you with their needs. One more round of hopeful people Wishing for better things, I corrected. So Bongo said everyone is greedy and they're just bugging you with their needs. But the wish tree said, no, it's a round of people who are hopeful and they're wishing for better things. Wishing day was always a bit hard on me and on my residents. Usually the animals and birds stayed away that day to avoid curious hands and endless photographs. But it was just one day. I understood its history and my role in it. I knew people were full of longings. A mother tugging a toddler along the sidewalk froze in place when she saw my trunk. "Mommy, what does that say?" asked her little girl, who was clutching a stuffed toy dog by the bed-raggled tail. The mother didn't answer. "Mommy?" They crossed the lawn. The mother stepped close to me. "It says, leave," she finally said. "Like trees have leaves?" Leave. I wonder what that could mean. That's what was carved in there. Oh, there's a picture of it. Leave. Gently, the mother traced my cuts with her index finger. "Maybe," she answered. "Maybe like that." She looked over at the 2 houses near me. Shaking her head, she tightened her grip on the little girl's hand. "Let's hope that's all it means." And we'll stop there. Disco party, disco party. Disco party. So far, so good. I hope you guys are enjoying Wishtree. Please now log into Canvas. Well, you're already there. Go back to your module and do your quiz. I've got to leave right now. I've got to run to work, and I will see you soon, and I will be there to clock your tea.